Hello guys, my name is Balkrishna Srivastava and welcome to Code with BK. So in this video we write Java code solution for question 8 of ICSE 2025 Computer Applications Board's Specimen Paper, which is this question. So before we begin, it is a request to please subscribe to my channel, because out of 100 viewers only 3 to 5 are subscribed. More than 95% of my audience is not subscribed, and a subscription is very important. So please just subscribe to my channel. So let's begin. So we have to write Java code solution for question 8 of ICSE 2025 Computer Applications Board Specimen Paper. This is the question. Take a minute and give this a reading. So this is a question about method overloading. You have to overload the display method. So this is polymorphism, where you have multiple methods with the same name but different type and number of arguments. Okay. So the first display method takes no arguments. The second display method takes 2 integer arguments. The third display method takes 3 double arguments. Okay. And the return type of third method is double as well. And you have to put all these 3 methods in a class. So you'll have to define a class to contain all these 3 methods. Okay. So I'm going to say class question 8. You can name the class anything you want. This is solution to question 8. That's why I'm naming the class question 8. Okay. So we have 3 display methods. Public void display. Okay. The first display method. Then the second display method has 2 integer arguments, int n and int m. Okay. N first, right? N first. Then you have a third, okay, display method. The return type is double and it takes 3 double arguments, A, B and C. Okay. I'll keep the return type dummy 0 for now so that it compiles. Okay. And for your use case, you can remove these as modifiers. Okay. They are not mandatory for you. Okay. But I'll keep them. Okay. So the first display method is basically to print this output using a nested loop. So you can be a very smart dude and you can print 3 lines. Don't do that. It says nested loop. So you have to use a loop within a loop. Okay. And whenever I approach problems to print patterns, I always ask you to think in terms of printing from left to right and top to bottom, because printing on standard output happens from left to right and top to bottom. This line, the first line is printed and then the second line, then the third line. So the number of lines are 3, which is my outer for loop for int I equal to 0, I is less than 3, I plus plus. Okay. For each line, I have to print 5 values. So I have a loop, the inner loop, that runs for 5 times. Okay. Now you have to print 1 to 1 to 1, and you have to alternate between values 1 and 2 whenever you are iterating through this inner for loop. Okay. So you can do something like boolean flag is say false. You can say if flag, okay, if the flag is true, I print 2. Okay. System.out.print 2, else I print 1. Okay, because flag will begin with false and I want to begin with 1. So if flag is false, I print 1. Okay, and in the next iteration it is flag equal to not flag. Okay, this is one way you can do this. So if I create an object here in the main, okay, I'll say question 8 dot display. Okay, calling the first display method. Also we need to change a line, okay, after the inner loop, because the inner loop prints 1 to 1 to 1, and for after each line I want to change a line. So if I run this, I get the right output. Okay, 1 to 1 to 1, 1 to 1 to 1. Okay, and there are a couple of assumptions that I'm taking here. Is the first is I am assuming there is a space between 1 and 2. Okay, if you assume there is no space, you can simply do this as well. This is fine too. Okay. Alright, but I see there is a space, so I'm going to go with that. Okay. Also, I assume there is no space between these 2 lines. Okay, because 1 to 1 to 1, then blank line, then 1 to 1 to 1. You may interpret it that as well, because there is enough space between 2, right? But I have not gone with that, so I'm assuming there is no white space. If you want to add a blank line between the 2, you should do something like this. Okay, but I believe that's not the case. Okay. Alright. So this boolean flag is one way, or what you can do is you can say, since the values are alternating, you can use odd and even. That is, j starts with 0. So for 0, you have to print 1. For 1, you have to print 2. For 2, you have to print 1. For 3, you have to print 2. For 4, you have to print 1. So for even values of j, 0 to 4 you have to print 1. For all values of j, 1 and 3 you have to print 2. So rather than you can say if j percent 2 equal to 0, for even values you need to print 1. So you can say odd values you print this. Okay, for odd values of j print 2. So okay, odd values of j would be 1 and 3. Okay, and for even values of j, print 1, and even values of j would be 0, 2 and 4. Okay, when I run this I get the same output. Okay, and I don't need this flag. You can go either way. Okay, so my first display is done. Moving on to the second display. Second display to print the quotient of division of m and n if m is greater than n. So if is greater than n, this is if m is greater than n. Okay, and otherwise, which is the else part, if m is not greater than n. So if m is greater than n, quotient of division of m and n. So you can say int q for quotient is m by n. Simple integer division is going to give you quotient, because the integer division returns the quotient, leaves out the remainder, and you can print this out. Okay, you can print q equal to whichever you want. You can directly print q. I'm going to print it as m plus by n. Okay, so that it looks like a division is happening. Okay, is equals to plus q. Okay, otherwise print the sum of twice n and thrice m. Sum is twice n plus thrice n. Okay, and I will print out in a pretty manner as well. I'll say twice into n, okay, plus thrice into m equal to sum. Oh, this is not needed. Okay, changing a line and testing the second display method, which is display passing an int. Okay, and I have to take two values. Int m is say 10, int n is say 3. I have to pass n and m, and first m later. Okay, so in this case m is greater than n, so this will be true. So you print m by n, which is 10 by 3, you get quotient 3. Okay, if I make that say 19, okay, so quotient is 6. Okay, if I make this 20, quotient is 6 again. Okay, if I make this reverse, okay, 30 is greater than 20, so sum is going to be 2 into n, which is 60, plus 3 into m, which is 60 again, so 120. So you should get 2 into 3 and 3 into 20 is 120. Okay, you can make this small, so, and you can make this say 5. So 2 into n is going to be 10, and 3 into m is going to be 6. 60. Okay, final display method is to print the value of z. Okay, and the return type is double as well, so you make sure you return a double. Z here is p into q, so we can say we calculate a value double z equal to p into q, and you return z. So double p is a plus whole b by c, so a plus whole b by c. Okay, and double q is simply a plus b plus c. Okay, so when you're calculating p, don't do this, because otherwise it is because in this case this is b by c first and then e is added, which is not what we want. Okay, all right, so calling the final display method, that takes double. Okay, 3 double values. I take double a is 3, double b is 3, double c is 2. Okay, question 8 dot display the one with abc. Okay, and change a line after the output from the previous display method. Okay, oh, missing a semicolon. Okay, now there's one more thing here. It says to print the value of z where you calculate z, and the return type is double. In my case, in my coding, I am writing this main method to test, but in your case, you don't have to write a main method. You just have to define a class with these three methods. And you have to print z as well. So I recommend you print z here itself. Okay. You can take the return value z here and print z here. Okay. And if I do this, I obviously get the right value of z. Okay. O plus z. Okay. So z is 24. A plus b by c is 3 plus 3 by 2 is going to be 3 into 3 plus 3 plus 2 is 8, 3 into 24. Okay. Thing is, we are printing here, we are not printing in the function, and if I don't have this code, the printing of z is not happening. So make sure you print here. Okay. And then you can return as well. Okay. Both the requirements are met, printing the value and satisfying the return type. Okay. So now you can omit this and you can simply call this method, ignore the return value. Okay. You still get the same output. Okay. Alright. So this was the solution to question 8 of ICSE 2025 Computer Applications board specimen paper. I hope you like this video and this was helpful. So if there's any doubt, there's a part you don't understand, please let me know in the comments. I always try to answer all the comments. And other questions of ICSE 2025 Computer Applications board specimen paper are solved and uploaded. The video for those you can find in the description of this video. So please let me know in the comments if you want me to solve a question or discuss a concept. Please let me know your thoughts about this video in the comments. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.